idea, not the man. Because
I am Ephialtes, born of Sparta.
Sinking your own ally's fleet to protect it from your enemy is one way to lose friends fast. Or how about selling out your own king in a plot to blow up Parliament? Betrayal in war and politics can have huge consequences, and these are the untold stories of some unbelievable historical betrayals. First up at number 10, the attack on Mezze Kabir. In 1940, France had just fallen to the Nazis, and the British were worried. What if the French fleet, one of the biggest in the world, ended up in the hands of the Germans? The risk was too great. Could they really trust the French promise to destroy their ships before surrendering them? Winston Churchill wasn't willing to take that chance. So, what did the British do? They took action themselves. On July 3, 1940, British Vice Admiral Sir James Somerville was sent to deliver a tough choice to the French fleet at Mezze Kabir in Algeria. Join the British, disarm, or face destruction. What happened when the French refused? The British opened fire, sinking several ships, and killing nearly 1,300 French sailors. But what was the fallout from this attack? The trust between the two nations was shattered. The French were furious and responded by bombing Gibraltar, where a significant British naval base was located. It showed just how quickly friendships can turn into hostilities during war, where even allies can become enemies in an instant. Next, at number 9, John Walker's Cold War espionage. During the Cold War, John Anthony Walker's betrayal could have changed everything. He was a trusted Navy officer, but in 1967, facing money problems, he made a dangerous choice. Walker started selling US secrets to the Soviet Union, but he didn't stop there. He pulled his own brother and son into his scheme, turning his treachery into a family affair. What kind of damage did this cause? The information Walker sold let the Soviets track US naval movements around the world. This wasn't just a minor leak. It could have given the Soviets a massive advantage if war had broken out. When Walker was finally caught in 1985, the full extent of his betrayal was shocking. Now at number 8, we have the story of Marina, also known as La Malinche. Many people call her a traitor, but the truth is complicated. In the early 1500s, when the Spanish were invading the Aztec Empire, Marina played a key role. She was enslaved and given to Hernán Cortés, but she quickly became more than a servant. She became his interpreter and advisor. How did Marina change history? Her knowledge of languages and cultures was important for Cortés. She gave him important information that helped him beat the Aztecs, make alliances, and eventually bring down the Aztec Empire. Today, some people see Marina as a survivor who did what she had to do, while others see her as a traitor who helped destroy her own people. But if you thought that was terrible, you're not prepared for one of the boldest plots in British history. Number 7, the Gunpowder Plot of 1605. Back then, a group of English Catholics were fed up with King James I, and they decided to take drastic action. Their plan? Blow up the House of Lords and take out the king. Guy Fawkes was the man chosen to do the job, with 36 barrels of gunpowder hidden beneath Parliament. But things didn't go as planned. So, what went wrong? Someone sent a letter to the authorities, warning them about the plot. On the night of November 5th, Guy Fawkes was caught red-handed in the cellar, guarding the explosives. After he was arrested, he was tortured until he revealed the names of his fellow plotters. The plan fell apart, but Guy Fawkes' name didn't fade away. Why do we still remember him? His name has become a symbol of rebellion. Every year on November 5th, people in the UK light fireworks and bonfires to remember the night his plot was stopped. Even though his plan failed, the story of his betrayal is still a big part of British history. But this next guy's betrayal is a little older, and one of the most famous ones ever. Number 6, Ephialtes of Tracus. In ancient Greece 480 BCE, the Persian king Xerxes I was trying to conquer Greece, but he was blocked by a small, determined group of Greek soldiers led by the Spartan king, Leonidas. These soldiers held a narrow pass at Thermopylae, making it nearly impossible for the huge Persian army to get through. But then, things took a turn. So, what happened? Ephialtes, a local Greek, knew a secret path around the pass. Driven by greed, he betrayed his own people and told the Persians about this path. With this new information, the Persians were able to outflank the Greeks and attack them from behind. Why do we still talk about Ephialtes today? His name is remembered as a symbol of betrayal. The battle at Thermopylae became legendary for the bravery of the Greeks. But Ephialtes is forever known as the man who turned against his own people. His story is a powerful reminder of how one act of treachery can change the course of history. But this next one changed everything for the British Empire. Number 5, Mir Jafar. Let's go back to 1757 and the Battle of Plassey. The British East India Company, led by Robert Clive, faced off against the Nawab of Bengal, Siraj-ud-Dawla. The Nawab's army was much larger, so how did the British win? The answer lies with one of the Nawab's commanders, Mir Jafar. He secretly made a deal with the British, promising to betray his leader in exchange for power. What happened because of this betrayal? During the battle, Mir Jafar held back his troops, which allowed the British to win a decisive victory. This victory wasn't just about winning one battle. It marked the beginning of British rule in Bengal, and eventually much of India. Mir Jafar got what he wanted. He became the Nawab. But he was hated by his own people as a puppet of the British. His betrayal changed the course of Indian history, starting British dominance in the region. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Next, at number 4, Vide Quisling, the name that became synonymous with treachery. Now let's jump to World War II. How did Quisling earn this terrible reputation? He was a Norwegian politician who saw a chance to rise to power by collaborating with Nazi Germany. In 1940, as Hitler planned to invade Norway, Quisling gave the Germans crucial information about Norway's defenses and political situation. What happened next? When the Nazis invaded, Quisling declared himself the head of a new pro-Nazi government. But how did his fellow Norwegians react? They despised him for siding with the enemy. After the war, Quisling was held responsible for the suffering and deaths of many Norwegians. He was executed in 1945, but his name lives on as a symbol of ultimate betrayal. Number 3. Let's turn to China during World War II and the story of Wang Jingwei. Wang was once a respected leader in the Chinese Nationalist Party, but things took a dark turn. After losing a power struggle to Chiang Kai-shek, Wang decided to side with Japan, the enemy. In 1940, he agreed to lead a puppet government set up by the Japanese in occupied China. So, how did this decision affect his legacy? Wang's choice made him one of the most hated figures in Chinese history. Why? Because he betrayed his country when it was most vulnerable. Even with his earlier contributions to the nationalist cause, Wang Jingwei is now remembered as a traitor who aligned with the enemy. Speaking of traitors, no list of betrayals is complete without mentioning this next guy. Number 2. Benedict Arnold. How did a respected American general become the most famous traitor in US history? During the American Revolutionary War, Arnold was a key figure in several American victories. But feeling unappreciated and passed over for promotions, Arnold made a drastic choice. So, what did he do? In 1780, Arnold plotted to hand over the strategic American fort at West Point to the British in exchange for money and a position in their army. How was this plan uncovered? It was discovered when Arnold's British contact, Major John Andre, was captured with incriminating documents. Arnold managed to escape to the British side, where he continued to fight against his former comrades. Today, his name is synonymous with treachery, a reminder of how far someone might go when they feel wronged. Finally, at number 1, let's talk about one of the most devastating betrayals in the history of Christianity, the sack of Constantinople in 1204. The Fourth Crusade was originally supposed to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control. But how did things go so wrong? Thanks to political and financial problems, the Crusaders ended up turning against their fellow Christians in the Byzantine Empire. So, what happened? Led by Venetian Doge Enrico Dandolo, the Crusaders attacked and sacked Constantinople, the heart of Eastern Orthodox Christianity. What was the impact of this betrayal? The city was looted, its treasures stolen, and its people massacred. This event didn't just deepen the divide between the Roman Catholic and Eastern Orthodox churches, it also weakened the Byzantine Empire, paving the way for its eventual fall to the Ottoman Turks. The sack of Constantinople is a powerful reminder of how power and greed can lead to betrayal, even among those who share the same faith. Betrayal has shaped history in ways we couldn't always see coming. If you found this video interesting, click on the next one for more of history's most fascinating moments.